Welcome to the Mind of Mir with two-time UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir, Las Vegas headliner Mike Hammer, and joining us today, Jennifer Mir.
All right, guys, back with another episode of Mind of Mir. Again, my always accompanying beautiful wife, Mrs. Mir.
Hello.
Which her voice is going to be a little harsh. You'll find out as the show goes on. We almost canceled, but I told her that no, that everybody will understand and have sympathy. And then, Mike, it's good to be back, man. Mike Hammer.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Anything been going on with you two or nothing much?
I know, nothing really. I don't know what you think.
Well, that's not what I read on ESPN.
Yeah, Bella came out and won. Now, a lot of people don't understand. They've had women's wrestling, but this was the first time the NCAA actually fully sanctioned the women's side of the wrestling, women's wrestling, collegiate women's wrestling. So this was the inaugural NCAA tournament. So everything that was done there was a first, you know. So Bella becoming a champion.
For the new people here, real quick, this is their amazing, unbelievable daughter. I just want to set this up. She wrestles at 145 pounds, and she's muscle, like all muscles. She's just unbelievable. Go ahead, Frank. And
so she wrestles for North Central Illinois. And we could talk a little too. There's a lot of turmoil in the tournament that happened. It actually kind of overshadowed the whole thing. Almost took away from the glory of what was occurring. But Bella went out there. She had 3 first-round techs, which means that when you're up so much on an opponent, that they stop the match. So there's 2 periods in the wrestling match. They do a freestyle type of, the rule system is freestyle for women's wrestling, for those who don't know. And so it's 2 3-minute periods. Not one girl made it out of the first period with Bella. Not one girl even scored a point on Bella. Not even a passivity call, which means that the referee has to sit there and go, hey, get going, move, wrestle, which is very common to get called because it's a very aggressive form of combat, you know, wrestling is. She texts the first 3 girls, goes into the finals against a former teammate, a friend from Iowa, Reese, who, on a side note, I hope, Reese, when you see this again, please come out.
Reese,
we're going to make you a fighter.
Yep, we're recruiting her. We already talked to her.
I
got video.
Mindset.
Yeah,
that's why actually Reese was ranked #1 going into this. They've had matches in the past. They've split, you know, wins back and forth. This was, if anybody at home saw how much I freaked out on the way Bella won, because she ended up pinning Reese in the finals. That just doesn't happen. She's beaten Reese before, but they're very contested battles. Reese is one of the top girls for many years in the sport at her weight class. So to go out there and dominate and catch Reese and actually pin her in the finals, be the first pin now in women's collegiate wrestling NCAA tournament finals. It was just amazing.
But who's the girl? Was that the girl who beat Bella before?
Reese.
That was her. So that's even more challenging. People don't understand when you go back to fighting, when someone has a win against you, and that was during a tournament, right?
They were teammates back in Iowa.
Oh, so they knew each other.
They're wrestling partners. They're friends. In fact, the year before, Bella ended up beating her at the semifinals before going into the finals. The year before that, Reese had actually won nationals. And so they've been going back and forth. The last time, it was a little bit of a stress on their friendship. So there was a lot of stuff that they were doing well going up to this finals, which I'm very glad Reese actually showed phenomenal humility. She walked up to Jennifer and I. We could probably show some stuff on Instagram afterwards. I'm sitting there giving a private lesson on how to throw the jab and how to change over the shots and distance in MMA, because she has that mindset that she actually would be even better at MMA than she is at wrestling.
But wait, and this is right after she lost to Bella. She came and found us and gave us a hug, said hi to us. So we talked with her for like 20 minutes.
That's not easy, guys. Anybody who's competitive at home, to go and talk to the parents of the kid that just took your title away and you're a runner-up, that just shows a lot of character. You know, most people would never be able to do that, you know, not even close. They're going in the bathroom, and rightfully so. Everybody's upset. I mean, hell,
of course.
How many times have I've lost fights walking in the locker room? People want to talk. Hey, guys, give me a minute. I'm gonna go in the bathroom. I'm gonna cry in the stall for about 5 minutes. Leave me alone. And then when I come back out, we'll be good. And just don't tell me everything's gonna be okay. I know, but if you're competitive, you're a sore loser. You know, just that's how it is.
Yeah, it was so awesome that she did that, and then she's such a smart. I said fighter. She's wrestling is fighting. She's such a smart wrestler. Like, she's really like a chess player. So Frank, I know how he coaches and how he thinks. He would do good coaching Reese. Like she would be phenomenal in MMA. So we were like, we told her we're gonna fly her out, just to fly her out this summer, help Bella with some of Bella's fights that she's got this summer, get
Worst
some
case
training
scenario,
in. Yep.
She's a good training partner. She can
But
get
we're-
paid for it.
But we're trying to recruit her.
She ends up
Yeah.
making money fighting. She can be a millionaire.
Frank wants a fight team. So we've got, let me see, there's 115, 120, 135. There's 3 weight classes right now, but he wants to bring back 145 when Bella comes.
45 is coming back.
Yeah, so 4 weight classes. He wants a fighter in each weight class. So Reese would be the 125 or 135.
So for people that don't know,
That'd be awesome.
what are the odds of winning an NCAA championship compared to like something in the real world that other people would know about? Is there any comparison on how difficult that is?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you have to wrestle the gambit to be a collegiate wrestler. And then there's tournaments you have to go to qualify for.
But like, how many people are you actually wrestling through the course of it's a year, right?
Well, you have to think too.
Well, and the way the tournament works, you're wrestling every college in the country. It's Division I that qualifies. Well, the men's side is Division I, but on the women's side, because it's smaller, there was 42 colleges there, I believe.
There was 41 colleges, but like Frank said, so there's multiple weight classes at, like let's say at Iowa, right, with Reese.
Yeah.
Reese wrestled at 145. There's other 145. So like just because you're at Iowa, you have to wrestle to start. So you have to wrestle for your position to even be in the tournaments.
Oh, okay.
Just like, let's start with that, right?
So Bella
Reese
basically is the best girl right now.
Yeah.
You can argue she's the best in the country at 145 pounds for collegiate wrestling.
Right.
For all the colleges in the world, the country that wrestle.
But that's such a standout thing. It's so amazing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it's amazing.
I guess what I'm saying is, for people that say you don't wrestle, like I don't think they realize how challenging. Well, let me throw one other little.
Well, because
hook
yeah,
in here.
it takes one hiccup.
Yeah.
Because you got to qualify, have many times you've made weight. And here's one thing that's also very hard about the way they do it. They make weight that night, right? So Bella makes weight Friday, had to wrestle 2 girls. You have to win. That night, she only gets what's called a 1 pound allowance. So she wrestles at 145. She doesn't weigh 145. So, I mean, she went back up to probably 152 that day on Friday. And then that night has to go back, instead of resting and recovering, what most of us would think you'd be doing the night before you go to the semifinals in the morning, decide who goes for first. She has to go cut weight. She's sitting there with Lama.
146, she has to come down.
Here, come back to 146. And if you don't make weight, you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, I was cutting weight with her the night before because I just wanted her to be alone. I was trying to like, distract her.
Yeah.
Her misery
Be
enjoys,
funny.
the
Yeah,
company.
so I
Her
was-
misery enjoys company.
Yeah, so I was with her.
So what did you do? You cooked for her? She ate
Definitely.
She ate your food.
Actually,
Definitely.
Jen was good at doing that. I hate sitting in the saunas and stuff.
Yeah.
But Jen will sit the whole time, where most of us,
stay with her.
the coaches, will rotate. And
Yeah.
you go in there this time with her. So she's never by herself.
Well, this
But
she
Jen will
wasn't-
be there by herself the whole time.
She wasn't in a sauna for this. For this, she
just goes
just
biking,
she
right,
just
right?
was she just was on the bike.
Yeah.
She ran for 20 minutes and then she was on the bike for 20 minutes, and then it was so funny too because
She's in her sweats, right?
she's in her sweats, and then she goes. So I had gone to our room was like 4 doors down from hers.
Yeah.
So I went in, I showered, I put my pajamas on, and I text her and I said, where are you at? What are you doing? She's like, I'm downstairs on the first floor. I'm on the treadmill. And I said, okay, well, I just put my pajamas on. She's all, Mom, nobody cares. No one cares that you're in pajamas. So I knew she wanted me to go down there with her.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I put my big jacket on. I went downstairs and I was with her. She did that for 40 minutes. Then we came back up and she was still 0.7 over. I was like, oh, I knew it was like so dead. She was so tired. She was like falling asleep like on the treadmill.
But
so I had to
She's
go
so
back
lean,
down
it's
with
hard for
her. Yeah.
What
I
you
went
alluded
back
to
down.
earlier, Bella's lean to begin with. She's about, I think, a little under 13% body fat last time that the college tested
Which
her.
for a woman,
That's unreal.
so
People don't understand
unreal.
that. That's
That's
unreal.
women, that's so a guy that could be at 12, 13%, 15, it's good. That's actually considered good shape. Like someone would be actually fit. But for women, it's like 20 something percent, right? It's like 23 because
20
women carry more body fat.
18% is lean for a woman.
Yeah.
Once they lower past about 15%,
Yeah.
is when you actually start running into problems with their hormones. They usually
Periods,
they stop having a
having
period.
periods.
Yeah, like it could stunt growth when they're younger when you're doing that. So that's why it's like very dangerous. Bella stays that low. It sometimes scares me. But even when they did the hydration tests, the NCAA tests the athletes, Bella's so lean that even if she wanted to show up at 138, I think is the next weight class down. They wouldn't
won't
allow
allow it, yeah.
You just show up at 138, but we're not gonna let you qualify for that because
Mhm.
it's dangerously lean for you.
The other thing too that's so strange. When you say, "Oh, she just did the bike 20 minutes or running 20 minutes," you put yourself in a position where imagine you had the flu. You know when you have the flu and you just can't move and you literally are like sometimes you're like, I just want to
It's like
die.
you want to die.
Yeah,
yes.
you're literally like you just don't want to talk to anyone, you don't want to move. But that's how, and most of that's because of dehydration with the flu. People don't realize what it is. It's dehydration because you're, got the runs and all that. So you're actually dehydrated.
That's
But
why the stomach flu doesn't exist. My guys, no, it's the flu. It's just the symptoms of the flu.
It's the symptoms of the flu. Right. Wait, well, what do you say? What is it?
Where people thought they have a stomach flu. I'm like, guys, no, you have a stomach virus. You ate something you shouldn't have eaten, and you're puking and shitting it out.
Right.
Or you have the flu, and these are the symptoms.
And here
of the
I'm cleaning
flu.
up diarrhea. Right. But no, right. You have the symptoms of the flu.
Right.
Exactly. But imagine having that, and everyone knows what that feels like. You just literally, you're achy, you just can't do anything. She's got to get up and run. Imagine getting up and running 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think the only difference might be like, it's not like you feel, your energy level is
Just
so
it's so gone.
depleted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as sometimes with the flu, your head hurts as well. But although when you get dehydrated enough, your head does
Oh,
hurt.
Yeah.
Because you lose that
The fluid,
the
yeah.
fluid in your brain. But it is actually dangerous. I didn't realize though you can cut the weight and then put some back on, and then she still has to come back in at a certain weight.
Yeah,
Because
so-
in the UFC, when you fight
Yes,
UFC,
you
it's
can
not like you
replenish
can come in
yourself and-
20 pounds heavier in the UFC when after you weigh in.
That's what they do. Is again, these are with the strategies to try to promote athletes to compete close to their natural weight.
Okay.
Is that they do the weigh-ins the next morning. So at these tournaments, the athlete will weigh in. Bella weighed in, for example, Friday morning at 145. She makes weight. Then Saturday morning at 7 a.m. again, she has to make weight, but they're allowed a 1 pound allowance. So now she has to make 146. So again, it's like, well, if you balloon up on Friday, if you just sit there and go, I'm going to eat carbs and I'm just going to hydrate up, you're going to suffer. And this happens a lot. There's athletes that have, been, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going against the number 1 seed tomorrow. Like, no, you're not. He didn't make weight. You're like, what? They didn't make weight? Yeah, they blew up too big. They couldn't get back down.
Yeah, so she really can't. I mean, she had all of her food
That's a sign.
ready for her the next day. So Saturday, after she had to weigh in at 7:50 in the morning. So then when she got off the scale, she was able to eat. She has like fruit and protein and stuff like that. But I mean, she has to compete all day. So I mean, it's not like she really didn't get to eat until after
Yeah.
she won.
That's where the scariest match for me in the tournament was the semifinal match, because she now has that double weigh-in. You make weight, and then she's going against. So in that morning, whoever wins that match wrestles that night for first place. If she ends up losing that match, she ends up wrestling for third. You're still depleted there. The only good thing is, so's the other girl, hopefully, depleted.
Yeah.
And then once she got through that, because Bella's such a big athlete at 145, I knew that, okay, if she makes it, all things go accordingly, and she's not, shut down, she'll be fine, and she'll have until 7 o'clock that night to rehydrate and replenish and be back up to where she should feel great.
Well, and like she was saying too, because she only sleeps like 4 hours when like the nights before she's competing, when she's cutting weight, because she's like she goes to bed right away, but she says, "Mom, I'm starving and I'm thirsty," so it
So she
wakes
is
me
hungry.
up.
Yeah.
She's hungry and thirsty,
Yeah.
so she's waking up, so she's only sleeping. Like, it's so crazy because like she's telling me this, and I'm sure Reese and every other girl there too. It's like they're just like running on, like, they're like tired, they're hungry, they're thirsty, and they're just, when you were there at that tournament, I mean, honestly, really, first, second, third, fourth place, I mean, they're top in the country. You know what I mean? It's like they're all working so hard, and it's just so impressive that they're like little machines.
But this is what gets me. This is what to me is so fascinating, is just as an outsider, it's like the girl that won, though, her dad's famous for fighting.
yeah.
So people, we've talked about this before, people think, oh, it's automatic, but it's not. She took your mindset, and of course you're so supportive as well. She took the mindset, but she still has to put in the dedication and the determination. And what people don't even get
And the work, the discipline.
But even something even stranger that I didn't realize until now that we were talking about it. In the UFC, there's so many people that will not fight their own teammates because they've trained together. Because now, a lot of times in fighting,
Weaknesses, strengths.
you know the weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually say when in a UFC fight, people that train together, that at least in MMA, one of them knows who's going to win for the most part, because you know how many times you got the better of someone else in training.
In this one, though, with Bella and Reese,
Well, you said it went back
did
and
it went
forth
back and
sometimes.
forth. They
But
went
that's
back and
even
forth.
scarier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's even
Yeah.
crazier. There's so many people that wouldn't want to fight each other for that
Yeah.
knowledge, you know?
Well, when Frank fought Roy Nelson twice, and I mean, Roy Nelson was Frank's teammate. He was
Oh,
that's
yeah.
who he used to help him get ready for fights, and he had to fight him twice. Frank tried not, he didn't want to, but I
Yeah.
mean, you.
Well, I tried
they-
to explain it to him, like,
Yeah.
when they came up to me the first time, we were both in the UFC, and like, hey, we want you to fight Roy. I said no. Like, what do you mean no? And I've never said no before. Anything. That's what I'm
Yeah.
kind of known for, is that 2 weeks before a fight, guy falls out, call Frank.
Any fight, anytime. Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere, any place, right?
Right.
That's the first time I had ever said no. And they're like, well, what do you mean no? I'm like, guys, Roy understands. I understand. We get it. The people around us don't get it. They're not going to understand it. One of my groomsmen is cornering him. We're going to destroy friendships. There's going to be people that aren't going to talk to each other anymore. We have best friends. Like, we have groups where one friend is friends and the middle guy's friends with both guys. Like, like we all go out and
Yeah.
hang out together. Like our wives, like, you don't understand. Like, there's a close knit group. There are going to be people here that are not fighters. They don't understand it. They don't get how two friends can go punch each other in the face and take money from each other, is how they're viewing this. They don't realize that, like, well, in training, we punch each other a lot more often. And we all, like,
Yeah.
so
And there's no ref.
Exactly.
so that being said, I was like, no, it's going to cause problems. And sure enough, it's caused problems.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's people that I don't want to throw anybody on the bus or just talk, air my line, really, but I have
Write it to
personal
me. I'll do
friendships
it.
that ended because of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not from Roy.
Yeah.
Roy and I are still, but Roy and I were never that close to begin with. We're compadres.
No, but you're
We're
training.
cool
Right.
partner, yeah,
Right.
But I've never eaten lunch at his house. He never ate lunch at my house. But we're like, we see each other, we train together. But we had mutual friends that were very close that ended friendships. And I have friends that are, that chose.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go that way. We had a breakup.
It was kind of crappy. So I'm happy that Bella and Reese. I'm really excited to get her out here this summer and have her train with Bella and
Yeah.
train herself and maybe convince her and her parents
But
to
think
be a
about
fighter.
how it's funny. Think about how impressive it is that we talk about I'll just throw we talk about, like, no one watches, for example, women's basketball, that kind of thing, right? And I mean, we don't talk about it, but people complain about it. But first of all, that stadium was full. I looked at
Oh, it
that.
was packed.
That was packed. But what's even more impressive is you guys. Did you know you'd be on ESPN?
No.
You were on afterward. I don't even know if you saw how many places you were on. You were on all these different.
USA Today, I think. The picture of Frank
Right.
and Bella,
And she's how old?
22.
You got a 22-year-old #1 in the country for wrestling,
Yeah.
and you're on every sports network. It was just crazy. Now, it was so exciting also to see, because I know you guys, you're like, oh, yeah, daughter of Frank Mir. I think Jennifer might have gotten a shout out on one of them. But anyway.
I'm used to not getting it. It's okay.
But you're so supportive. But, well, people don't realize how much
Oh,
you
and I don't.
support
Yeah,
everything.
it's not my thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't. They support me. That's who I get. These are my fans right here at home. for
Jennifer
getting
didn't even
things.
want to do this podcast. I'm like, Jennifer, you're amazing. You have to come on. You
'Cause
have to come on.
Yeah, because I've always just been.
We need some beauty on here, right, Frank?
Yeah.
We can't have just us.
Oh, look at it. He looks pretty beautiful today. Look. We
Yeah,
did
well,
our- we
he
did
did
our chemical
his
peels.
new chemical peel.
Yeah,
Well, it
we
does.
did
You
our
have a good
chemical
shine.
peels. Yeah, see, doesn't it look good?
It
That's
looks,
by my esthetician and my makeup artist.
it looks
So
amazing.
look at him. Yeah.
So, but honestly, like, you guys are, it's so exciting. When I saw it too, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that's amazing. I mean, I
Well,
knew,
because it's interesting too. What's the one great thing about we're not propping them up. No one's forcing people to watch the women's wrestling, the
Yeah.
women's MMA. I mean, Dana's not running around forcing people to watch the girls fight on the UFC
Right.
level. They sell tickets. They sell because it's still very interesting to watch them move. They move differently than the men.
Yeah.
There's different tactics, different strategies because of the body types, the flexibility, the mobility. Sometimes the lack of power. Then there's more quantity and of output with striking. So that being said, it's still fun to watch. I think sometimes there's some female sports out there that aren't fun to watch because you're like, well, I'm just watching a slower
Version of
higher jumping version of the pro males. It's like it's not different. It's like just a level down. Where in the fighting, the wrestling, it's like, well, no, this isn't actually just a level down. Like these girls are doing, like there's things the girls do both in MMA, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling that men typically can't do because of the mobility of the shoulders, some of the angles and some of the positions they get into. You're like, holy shit, you put a guy in that position and you're calling 911, you better bring the medics on the mat. He's going to tear his shoulder apart. We're just built slightly different. We just are. That's even why I went back to the day where Bella was wrestling boys. I stopped it after a little bit because, they just don't move the same. There's certain different strategies that, like, you do that. You can't do that to a girl.
Well, your hips are in different places. I mean, the way the hip
even
moves.
shoulder mobility. You know how many times I've grabbed girl. I remember there's times where I would roll with women, teaching or in class. And I grab them in a move.
You
and also
never rolled with a woman.
And I'm putting them in a position with their hands behind their head. And I'm like, hey, are you all right? Like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, if you had me in this position right now, I'd be screaming bloody murder. I might black out from the pain, But like you put their hand behind their head, like, no problem.
I'm
like,
sorry, I'm laughing.
Why do I feel like, because I'm
Jennifer, you never rolled with
why do
women.
I feel like that was like your pickup line back in the day? You're like, wow.
I've rolled with
You're just
women.
like, if I was in that position, I could never do what you just did.
You mean you think that it'd be a good idea to give them compliments to?
Oh my God, I'm going to punch you.
So how many? Oh, that he wouldn't feel it, would he?
Oh, he would feel it.
Okay.
I would never punch him though.
So wait, why would you even
Where are we
say
going
that?
with this?
Wait, do you hear her? I go, he wouldn't even feel it. She's like, he would feel it. Like,
We always made that joke, or if anybody domestic violence jokes, they're like, if anybody shows up, if they see the cops outside my house, we all know who's outside with the blankets and the cup of coffee being spoken to. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay, sir. Do you feel safe? No, I don't.
I don't feel safe
I don't
at
feel
all.
safe at all. Do you see that fucker?
Remember when we got in the car accident before we were going to Disneyland because my
Yes.
grandson, it was his birthday, and we got into a car accident, and it kind of was like a T-bone, and when the car hit us on my side, I smacked my face on the glass, and so I had a black eye. And Bella was playing softball back then.
I was exiting off the road to the right, and somebody was flying up the emergency lane. So they kind of hit our door. I kind of like basically.
Then they hit my
they
door.
hit, I hit them. They hit me because I pulled into them, and they
yeah.
So her face smashed against the window.
So I had a black eye.
Yeah. So then the rest of the day, I remember we were at a softball tournament, and I'm sitting there
Bill.
like staring at us. I hear she has a black eye, and they're looking at me. I'm like, that's why I tell people, like, guys, if anybody knows, trust me. If she has a black eye, I'm not here. You know what I mean? Like,
Never, ever would that happen. Yeah.
No, and you have control like that. It's funny because so last night, I'm not going to mention the person, but so the guy's former UFC fighter, and he says to me, I don't care. I'll mention it. I'll text him right now if I have to. But Anthony Pettis, right?
oh yeah, good.
He's great.
Okay,
He wants to come on the podcast, by the way.
Yes, I want him and Lisette.
Oh,
we gotta both.
Well,
of
that's
them.
what this
I
story's
love them
about.
too.
That's
yeah.
what this story's about.
I love her.
They're both great. I'm not going to say I
Yes.
love her because of what happened last night. But
Oh.
so Anthony says to me, and he's great, and he
that
goes,
could be kind of spicy, so I can only imagine.
oh my God. He's like, dude, you're like my hero. You're so funny. Tell some jokes, because his brother was there. He wanted me to tell some jokes for his brother. And I'm like, dude, I'm out. I'm not trying to tell jokes or be funny or whatever. And he goes, oh man, you're so cool, this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. And I'm just joking, whatever. So then Lizette, his wife,
Yeah.
walks up and she goes, Mike, oh my God, you're so good looking. And I'm like, yeah. And he's standing there and I'm like, yeah. And usually you'll say thank you or, oh, you are too. But I just go, yeah, just like that. And she goes, she goes, "What are you doing with yourself?" And this and that. And I'm looking at
Trying to
Anthony.
get me hurt, dude.
Exactly. I look at
Oh,
Anthony.
we were friends.
I look at Anthony and I go, "It ain't me, dude." I go, "It is not me." I go, "It's not me." And he goes, "Well, I don't know what's going on here." I go, "Me neither." I'm like, "Me neither." So then we go, but later it continued. Like later she goes, "Oh, can I take a?" She's like, "Oh, can I take a picture with Mike? Like, will you take a picture?" And I go, "No, we're good, we're good." I go, "I'll take a picture with you, Anthony. You know, this and that." And no, he's joking and he's having
Yeah, you're
fun.
playing.
Oh yeah,
But he had a couple more drinks. So later, we're at a restaurant in the front by the bar. He's like, "Hey, Mike, let me get you a drink." I go, "Oh, I'm not drinking now because I didn't eat yet. And if you don't eat first, the alcohol
Makes
gets
it
absorbed."
hard.
yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, you do know. So
Why do I feel like you're telling a Doberman when we went to the Doberman the night? Is it the same type of story?
no, but
Did she get in trouble?
That was fun.
Like I got in trouble?
I don't know. She might have a black eye today. I don't know. But so then he says that, like, I got in trouble. Oh, we'll talk about that. But Frank was in the right, though, to be honest with you. Yeah,
Calm
Frank.
down. Finish the story.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
So you know you're in the right, Frank. So
He's always in the right.
no,
Mike.
but you don't understand why. That's why you're saying this. This is great. So what happened is we're at the bar and he's like, "Have a drink." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'll drink a little bit." "Come on, you got to drink." And I go, "Dude, you're drinking like a mojito. Please. That's not even a man's drink. You know, this and that. It's a mojito." So then she's like still talking and he goes, he's like, "Yeah, my wife's is like, you're good." No, he goes, "Mike's you're such a great guy, Mike, but you got to like other women, you're not good for my girl." And I go, "I don't want to be good for your girl. Like, I'm not even the one talking about her." And he goes, "I think I got to hit you in the face." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Anthony," I go, "Dude," I go, "Settle down." I go, "Settle down." And I'm like, I'm going to go in there. You guys work it out, whatever. And I walk away. So then, and he literally goes, "All right, but I'm going to have to punch you in the face." And the problem with you guys, you fighters, you're used to just doing this joking around fun. But for me, it's like not going to be that fun. I'm going to have to explain. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are friends. You're like, how many times you guys punch each other in the face? You know,
Mike's like, is he really going to?
That's
Hold
what
on,
I'm
I got to
thinking.
think about this. Is he really going to do it?
Right. And I'm wondering, is he really going to do it or not? Because he was
I'm
a little
dying.
bit drunk now. And so now I'm like, I don't
It
know
sounds like
what he's
it'd
going
be
to.
playful, but
But I
the
don't know what
results aren't
kind of
playful. Yeah.
Well, all I know, he walked out to me once before and he put me in like a rear naked choke when I wasn't expecting. I was standing up and I knew what to do to counter, but not if he didn't do it to really choke me out. He was just doing it to be funny. So I reached back behind me and I grabbed him in the nuts and squeezed. And he let go and he goes, "Motherfucker." He goes, "Where'd you learn that?" And I go, "Come on, dude." I go, "Probably the first thing you'd learn."
You did that last night?
No, and I did this once before. But now I'm like, okay, he is capable of, and you know,
Of course,
Yeah.
he's capable.
and
Of
I'm not
hurting.
I'm
you.
not messing with him. But so then, but he was all like that. And then the rest of the night, I'm like, "You're good. We're good, right, dude? Like, we are good." And I just had to say it once in a while. Well, then all of a sudden he was missing. Like, he wasn't there. And I'm like, I don't even know where he went. And they're like, the people I was with, they're like, "Oh yeah, he had to go. He was drinking a little too much." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." But so then this morning, he texted me this morning and he goes, "Hey, I want to come to your show tomorrow." And he goes, can we leave tickets? I want to bring my brother or whatever. And I go, "Yeah, what about the part where you were gonna punch me in the face?" Like, I called it out, and he laughed. And he goes, "But I didn't do it." And I go,
Oh my
and I go, "Well, I could, you were a drink." I go, "And you're drinking mojitos, dude. You couldn't even handle mojitos." And he's laughing, but he's such a nice guy. Like, he's a really super
yeah.
great guy. But I still don't know the level of where you guys will mess around or not.
Well, yeah, and whenever it involves someone's girl, you're like, is he
Yeah.
getting upset about that, or
Like,
you know what I
no,
mean?
You had
Like,
alcohol.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
thing, pour
Yeah.
alcohol on it too.
Well, what do you think, Frank?
I know
mean, you've
that-
seen it. People will sometimes snap. The alcohol.
But-
Well, and I'm not saying even.
That's why I don't play fight. That's why I tell people I don't play fight with people
Yeah.
because I've seen too many times what
Mhm.
starts off with one guy being, funny,
Yeah.
not trying to be malicious. We're both professional fighters, or you are sorry, men in general.
Right.
Fuck being a professional fighter. Most men's egos, that was a little harder. Well, that was a little harder. That was a bit more intense. And then all of a sudden it starts, before you know it, you're going to blows. It's like, oh, we're
Yeah.
fighting. It's on.
And,
Yeah.
and you don't know when with someo's girl, like
Yeah.
are
it's sensitive.
they like Are they
It's-
going to be mad about
Right.
mad, or are they going
Right.
to be extra sensitive? Or I know both of them though, and
No, they're both so great.
Yeah. She and
You wanna
she's
know what it
so
was?
nice. Like
She
she was just trying to be nice to you.
She
Mike.
was being
actually
nice.
didn't mean any
No,
of it.
because you want to hear something really funny? Well, that's really
I'm
funny.
joking, I'm
No, no,
joking.
no. That's what it was. Because later she said to one guy, she goes, "Oh, you look good. You lost weight." And the guy didn't, right? And I go to Anthony. I go, "See, she's just nice to everyone," and she is.
She is.
I
so
think they were
nice to
both
him.
just goofing around. I think I had nothing to do with it, really. What I think was they were both kind of teasing each other, but
Yeah.
then I'm in
sounds
the
like
middle,
You got caught in the middle.
and I
We
got
just
caught
have
in the middle.
We just have to get him on the show, and then we'll ask.
He's
him.
so great. He's like
I'd
nice.
love to have him
Yeah.
on the show for
Anthony's,
sure.
Anthony's a great martial artist too. Talk about a well-rounded guy.
Fantastic.
Obviously, look, he was at one time he was the best fighter in the world. Won
Yeah.
won the belt. But even now, sometimes when we're at Chris's and he's in town, we'll train. It was impressive. He did a spinning sidekick on the bag, right? But when he hit it, he put his foot back down and he did it like 10 times in a row. Dink, 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 and just hit a spot like the size of a nickel
Yeah.
on the bag and stayed on balance the whole time. His base foot never he never
Pivoted.
when you're pivoting, a lot of times
Yeah.
people move around. You know what I mean?
Lots
Like, you know what I mean? You make adjustments.
Yeah.
His foot never moved. He looked like almost like he had the dexterity of like a professional ice skater. It was like amazing. I was like watching, I was like, man, I mean, I've been in martial arts a long time. And,
Yeah.
I know the kick and can administer it, but to that level of that ability to hold it that many times in a row without even moving, it was my.
But think about it. He was the first guy to throw that kick off the cage to knock someone
Yeah,
out.
he did a running roundhouse off the cage. For everybody at home, if you see, there's a highlight reel of when he fought Benson Henderson, the WC for the
And
title.
Benson was good, and he had not been knocked out ever prior to that.
Benson is also
Yeah.
a former champion.
Yeah.
Both WC and UFC.
Yeah.
He ran across the cage and thrown a roundhouse, so he used his foot to support to bounce off. And Anthony comes from a Taekwondo background. He still even teaches Taekwondo in his school system, his studios back in Milwaukee. And so that dexterity and that agility with his legs comes from that background. That's why. Then you added that he was a Rufus kickboxer.
Yeah.
So then the full contact and then you add that he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's like there's just layers to this to just keep on getting why he's such an established
And he's
martial
so
artist.
skilled, and it was so impressive just the way he got that win.
He beat Roy Jones in a boxing match.
Oh, that's true. Right. That was more recent too.
Yeah.
That was like
I don't
a
give
year
a shit
ago.
if you dig Roy Jones up out of the grave.
Yeah, yeah,
You can walk with him in a
No, I
boxing
got
match.
you,
It's
because-
impressive.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because Roy's still gonna know distance.
Of
Yeah.
course, tiny,
So how do
yeah.
you even right?
Yeah, so he was able to compete with. That just shows.
Yeah.
and boxing's not his number one trade. Like that's just only. You
yeah,
get
that's
the
right.
decathlete
Right.
who goes out there and sprints against a former world champion and sprinting, or former pole vaulter in his pole vaulting event. You're like, wow, I'm competing at your specialized event. And as mixed martial artists, we're practitioners, we're generalists. We
Yeah.
be good at everything, but you can't be a specialist and be over specialized and great at one aspect. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can take away from somewhere else. So that being said, to beat a specialist at their specialty as a mixed martial artist is always, that just shows you how great he is.
Yeah. And he's so obviously he was pretty relaxed to throw a kick like that. Like he's also relaxed when he's in the ring. Like he's very his mind is very sharp. you
Yeah,
know?
well, and both his styles, kind of those different styles of martial arts he comes from, myself included, we fall more to that kind of relaxed sniper
Yeah.
type mindset. It's not a hard grind. Guys sometimes come from more of a wrestling background or maybe like a judo background.
Sure.
There's that constant tension, like
Where your muscles are stiff. Yeah.
right, where they're stiffer
Yeah,
because they don't have a lot of time to work with. It's very
Yeah.
one wrong movement. In those guys, it's just a different kind of mentality, that forward drive.
Yeah.
Whereas in jiu-jitsu guys, you sit there and go, man, you're not doing much, and also boom, fight's over with. Like, oh
It's
shit.
almost like I always feel like it's like the difference between like military mind and then like a chess player.
Yeah.
I feel like you're more like a chess player. A lot of those wrestlers like from the Midwest, it's more of the like
The grind. Yeah.
military
Well, yeah.
style, like
There's a marching style and there's a dancing style. You know what I mean? And like warriors dance, soldiers march. Type.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So wait, I just want to bring this up real quick because it's interesting. Not the specifics, but I think Frank's philosophy is accurate though, because we were talking about like with the girls and a guy that's not your significant other. What you said, Frank, is when another person sees your girl, even if it's with a
Oh,
friend.
So background on this.
Could you explain?
A
Yeah.
couple weeks ago,
my gosh.
my wife
No, it's
got in
not
trouble.
bad. It's
No,
just
it's not bad.
It's
I
funny
know.
because me and Mike are,
yeah.
So
Yes.
we were all out having drinks, and my wife sometimes forgets that she's a girl, and she wanted to. You guys were bantering back and forth like you do, brother and sister, and my wife wanted to try to put you in a choke.
Well, just
Hold
to tell
on.
you, tell you what
To
started
my
it.
defense, can I just have one defense?
Wait,
to my
wait,
defense,
right after
say
I just
what
tell-
did you say?
Well, that
Come on.
This is what she got mad about. She was talking to her girlfriend.
I have a temper.
They were talking again about Bella again. They were talking about Bella, how great Bella was, and this. And I said, because I joke around, and Frank was in the restroom, which is
He
funny.
wasn't even there.
Yeah,
he
and Frank.
was-
Well, that's where this
he
all
was-
came up.
yeah.
Frank wasn't there, and I go in front of her girlfriends. I said, "Oh my God, Frank did such a great job with her, didn't he?"
See, even him saying it right now, even though I already got in trouble for that, I wanted to try to choke him out.
Well, he
again.
doesn't care now because
He
the
would
reason.
care if I did it
No,
again.
he wouldn't care now because it had nothing to do with me. He'll explain why it wouldn't make a
Oh,
difference.
okay. Oh, that's right. That's
You'll
right.
get
I
it.
forget.
See, she
Yes.
still never learned.
I did. Yes, I
This
yes.
is what you get for not punching her, Frank. This is one punch. She
Sean
would've learned.
Connery was right.
She would. What'd Sean Connery say?
Oh
You
my
never saw that? Well, we'll go back to that in a
Okay.
second.
Okay. So wait.
But what I was upset about, I told you.
No. Let me just finish. Let me bring you up to the thing,
Yeah.
and then because she's still not getting why you were upset.
Yes,
and
I
could tell-
remembered now.
I could
why.
tell you 100%. And if you choke me, he wouldn't care now because it's not about that. It's the perception. He'll tell you in a second. But I just want to say, but it was funny how quick she snapped as soon as I said in front of her girlfriends. I go, Frank raised her so well. He's amazing, and she jumped up. She's like, and it wasn't even. She's like, well, go. You can continue for this. So you jumped up. You did your.
I jumped. Yeah, you said that. So I jumped up and I tried to choke you.
Yeah, but my defense is
But
so amazing.
and then Frank came out and then was like mad, pissed off. So you explain why you're. I understand now. I don't want the lecture again, but you.
It was said,
explained to
stop
everyone
doing that
else.
because
Why?
there's other people around this restaurant that are looking and they don't realize that you guys are friends and it's not a big deal.
For the record, for
looks
someone that was mad,
inappropriate.
pissed off, he's pretty calm. He
Oh,
barely, yeah.
No,
He literally
no,
walked.
Frank's
yeah.
always calm.
Frank didn't say
Always.
shit right then.
No,
you
he-
told her later. I didn't mean to cut you up, but I just want to
But-
make.
but no,
'cause
but-
she goes, "You're mad."
But
And
he-
Frank just
that
talked
is
back,
mad.
and he just had a look,
That
and,
is
and I
mad.
just look at
That-
Frank,
the fact
and
that at that moment, I
yeah.
just said, stop.
exactly
I'll explain later.
right. And
Because
I looked
there's
at
no
Frank,
reason-
and I just want to clear, and then you can have the floor.
Okay, but as his wife,
Hold
that is super angry for Frank.
Okay.
That is his
Well,
super
it
angry.
didn't look. No one else would know. Trust me, Frank is a great chess player. Frank looked at me. I looked at Frank. I go, "You know it's not me," and he goes, "I know."
No,
Go
yeah,
ahead, Frank.
That's why I was trying to put
Yeah.
you at ease. Like, hey, relax.
Yeah.
Mike, I know. And I'm aware of what.
Even though technically it was him because he said that, but that's okay.
So, and then she was like, because you would put pressure down on your chin on her forearm.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. Show me how to do the right. And I had to finally say, Jennifer, I'm not going to teach you how to choke Mike in front of everybody right here because it doesn't look. It's going to look weird. And I kept saying, just stop. I'll explain later. Because that's a lot of times people don't realize, like, in my household with my children, do what I say when I say. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will always explain myself later, though. Sometimes right now is not the time for me to explain myself. There's people around. I can't always explain. And some people, they want this very touchy-feely, explain to me now why you're saying no. No, I'm not. And some people are very militant on the other side. It's like, well, I'm the father. I'm the leader of the group. I don't have to explain myself. Now, that's one side of the pendulum swings the other way. I'm in the middle. I'm like, hey, we're in the middle of the combat. If I say duck, fucking duck. Afterwards, they'll say, hey, there was a sniper over there. I saw him and a little thing on it, so I told you to duck. But if you want to sit there and wait for the explanation right now while you're standing there, it might end up being too late. You know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, I'm asking you to duck because there's a guy there with a scope, and he's been sitting in on you, and like his guy called in the time and the distance, the wind. They're doing this number. You're screwed. Oh, sorry. Well, hey, next time. You know what I mean? Like,
Frank's analogies.
I
are
know,
Insane. But he's
welcome
right
to
though.
my
There-
world.
But there could be a tragedy. I get it. And
Well,
Frank's
it's-
defense, you didn't stop, Jennifer. 10 times you kept saying, but just show me the move. Show me the move. But my arm, I don't understand. And I'm facing
Jennifer's
Frank the whole time. I'm
defense-
like, it's not me. It's not me. It's not me.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
I know, Mike.
to Jennifer's defense, out alcohol. Because normally when I sit there and I give her the look, it usually ends there. That was one of the few times that it went further to where I had to finally sit there and actually say something vocalized.
Yeah.
Because and then that's what caught her attention. Because I usually don't. Usually I just have to look at
Yeah.
people.
Well, you weren't even next to her directly. You were
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah, I'm like,
You were on the other side, just shaking your head.
Now, that's usually enough of a signal. Usually my kids and my wife know this. That's enough.
Actually, Frank did better. I remember this. Frank didn't even say stop right away. He actually let you go a couple because you didn't say stop because I was busy looking at you, and so he's trying to navigate. No, Mike, you're fine, but
Well, that's because I was trying to give her the look.
yeah, no, I got it, but you couldn't look past because she's still talking to her friend, like, oh my God. And she is funny, you got to admit. She is
And
hilarious.
that's the thing, too. If we were all sitting in my house, I wouldn't give a shit.
Oh, could you explain why you never explained what the
Well,
situation
because there's other people
is?
around. You know what I mean? And it could look disrespectful and just people don't understand and go, hey, you're Bella Mir's mother, you're my
yeah.
wife. Like,
Yeah.
There's a certain code of conduct and the way we uphold ourselves when we're out in public that, like, you're not paying attention. People always pay. I walk in the room, I'm in a fucking glass bubble.
Right.
I have pictures of people watching me fucking eat my food. So, like, I'm maybe more hyper aware than others because I'm constantly being looked at. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, do you see that? Yeah, and I can see people pulling their phone up and they're videotaping me while I'm doing something just very normal and just eating and tying my shoes.
Right.
And so I'm just vigilant of what's going around, and I'm like, oh, that might look like a shitty video on the internet. If you know what I mean, like, hey, isn't that Frank's wife? Who's the guy she's like wrapped on top of? Like, it's like, oh, it's a choke. What's a choke? You know what I mean? Like,
Wrapped on top of, or they would say, "Who's Frank Mir's wife trying to kill?" That's what they would say.
No,
We
they
would hope.
They would have actually said, boy, she can't put him in any hold at all.
Oh my God! See, he's
And-
such a rage man.
And
Like, that's why
I
he gets
purposely didn't
hurt.
want to touch her at all with my hands, and I didn't. I just dug my chin down. And it's
Yeah,
like,
he did.
ow.
well, I mean, you actually turned your whole body away and just kept your hands down.
Yeah, exactly.
He did.
But Frank is right, though, because people, it's not even about, it's the perception of people.
Oh,
and things
100%.
will
No,
wind up
I
on the internet.
She's actually even
I
more keen on
do-
perception than I am.
I do
Yeah.
know 100%. I know.
People
I
don't realize
understand.
what, like, you'll go through because, and people find any excuse these days, especially for just
Oh, yeah.
likes on their stupid videos, and they'll literally put something like, even if they don't even mean it rude, the
Oh,
comments under there are going to be
They
bad.
purposely take things
Exactly.
out of context.
Yeah.
Purposely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Purposely take things out of context. Because, well, I give you the context of what happened before or
Yeah.
what happens after. This isn't going to be very interesting. You're
Yeah.
not going to get someone's attention. So they so they purposely leave that out.
Oh,
Yeah.
they would like do a video and say Frank wasn't even there. She
Right.
walked in with him and
Right.
and a bunch of girls. Like, I mean, yeah. It's
Well, you
just-
never know. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't ever know.
It's better just to go and just when we're out in public, just you're clocked on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't get if you have any kind of public persona, you don't really get a clock out when you're home. That's
Yeah.
why I'm a homebody. That's why I like staying in my backyard because, like, when I'm home, I don't have to worry about what I say as much to the degree that I have to worry about the minute I walk out the door. I don't have to realize to be on.
That's why you don't even drink. You don't even drink unless we're home. Like, he'll smoke his cigars, right, or his pipe. He might order a drink,
Yeah.
but he doesn't drink. Like, he will not have like more
listen
than
to
one
him.
drink unless we're at home.
Yeah,
So that's
the
funny
only
because I've
place.
never seen Frank ever like out of. He's always just even
Because
in
he's out.
public.
Because
Yeah.
because
He'll have his
he's-
cigars.
yeah, because he's out. So it's
Yeah.
like he's in fight mode. Like, what if something happens? What if
Yeah.
he's in his mind going over so many times from the moment we step foot out of the house?
Well, it's such a depth. It's not just a physical altercation that
Yeah.
I'm running through my head. It's verbal. It's social altercations.
Right.
This person said this person said that. There's so many things that can really hurt you or be detrimental to the family.
Yeah.
My children know that we're walking around. I mean, like, I'm representing them.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors and things that if I don't want to be fucked up,
Yeah.
that something comes along my way and some girl talks to me. The other day, this woman was being a little inappropriate while we were at a bar.
Were you rolling with her?
No,
Which story?
but it was funny because
Do you see what I'm
even
saying?
there, how I handled
He
it.
did say, as long as no one's watching and we're not out in public, Mike. That's what I heard him say. That's what I heard him say. So that's what I heard him say. That's actually all I heard
Yeah,
him
but
say.
you know what?
Was as long as we're
I
not out in
know.
public and other people can't videotape it. Perfect. Well, we're not out in public right now.
Do you know something funny though? You guys, people would know. These two actually, in public, they have the utmost respect for each other. They seriously do. Like, you
Oh.
guys are so good because it's so funny. And Jennifer, you know how to turn it on and off quick. Like, she's like, "Oh, people, I'm done." Like, you could be arguing, but as soon as you're there,
Well,
you're
Yeah, I am good at.
you got.
So
But you
Jennifer
both
and I
have
was
that
standing
respect for
and
each
there was
other.
Other women, and we're at a bar, and the girl was trying to very nonchalantly
Oh,
touch me on the elbow.
Yeah.
Was doing one
I
of these
gotta tell-
numbers, like touching me
I
and
gotta
like
tell my
trying to get my attention. And I'm sitting there and I could feel it. And I'm like, okay, if I look and engage, all this looks like to everybody else, and possibly my wife also, that I just started the
Hold
conversation
on.
with this chick. I don't know what you're thinking of at
Hold
this
on.
moment.
No, okay, you're just doing it from your side, but I'm gonna
From
tell
my
you,
point of
okay,
view,
okay,
from what's
okay,
going on.
okay.
So to make sure that everybody sees that I did not start this engagement.
You literally just walked in. You just walked up. You were out in the car. You grabbed
Correct.
something from the car, and so you were just walking in.
So to make sure that it was very obvious that I'm not the one that started this conversation.
And that's a lot of a mental game for you too. To
There I
make
go.
sure
That's
it's not
That's
easy.
not fun. That's me
Right.
going calculations. Okay, my
For
wife's
your-
over here.
For your respect,
She's on
right.
my left. Is she seeing this chick touch my elbow on my
Right.
right? I don't know. Is anybody else in the room seeing this?
Right.
All they're gonna see, because I'm
Right,
viewing from
right.
third person point of view, what are they gonna see? Well, if they don't see the touch, they're gonna see, hey, Frank started talking to that chick right there at the bar. He's the one that started the conversation. Because if she just would have said,
Absolutely.
oh, hey, how's it going? I was like, hey, what's up? But she's like touching me, like getting me to talk first. I'm like, why are you touching me? So then I very
This was so funny.
You're getting an eye roll.
This
from
was
this,
no. This was
So
so
that part
funny.
was fine.
I'm rolling my eyes at the girl,
Oh,
not
gotcha.
at Frank. No, this was
Gotcha.
so funny.
no, because what I did was I went, oh, excuse me, do you need to get by me? I mean, very,
But he was so exaggerative.
I
it was
exaggerated it
so funny.
so much that it's obvious that you're like touching me.
He
It's
like-
oh, pardon me, do you need to get by? Like, excuse me, like, why are you touching me?
Okay, because he walks by, right? And the owner of this bar knows us, good friends with us, right? So he's talking. There's two girls. There's the one on the right. That's the one that ended up talking to Frank. And then there's the one on the left. The one on the left, he was telling her about, oh, her husband's a fighter. Oh, their daughter is a fighter. Oh, this. So, you know, we
Which makes it worse now.
because now
'Cause
she's
now
like,
she's locked
oh,
in, right.
yeah, she's like, she hadn't even seen him yet. He hadn't even walked in
Right.
yet.
And now a 2-second
She's
look and
locked
you
in.
see Frank breaking
So-
someone's arm.
so-
on the
So,
internet.
and I mean, every girlfriend on the planet knows I'm locked in with the owner and the girl.
Yeah.
But every girl out there knows we all are seen. Like I might as well have had two other eyes, like right here on the side of my head. So I knew exactly what was going on. So I saw her. Frank walks in, and I saw her reach around and like she's trying to do it without us looking. She reaches around and like taps him, and she's like,
Again?
"No, this is
Oh,
my
gotcha.
version now."
Yeah.
She reaches around and taps him, and she's like, "Are you the fighter?" And he literally, it was so amazing because she barely just went like this. He like backs up, like way backs up, and he's like, did you need something? Like all loud so everybody could hear. And I was like, oh my God, good job, babe. And so
Good
she goes,
job, babe.
and so I turn around because I mean, I'm looking now, right? And then she's like, in front of me, she doesn't stop there. She's like, you smell so good.
To him?
To him.
What was I supposed to say to that? I don't know what to say to that.
So he didn't say anything.
I
He was just
understand.
like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But honestly,
I run
want
things through my head all the time. I gotta admit that was a first for me. I'm like, okay, what do I do if someone says this or says that? Like, I have, I play
that
mental
is
drill
not
with
a
myself.
first for you. The freaking remember the Hawaiian chicks? They all handed you. I was like being so nice.
Hold on.
I said,
Jennifer,
I'm
stop,
gonna take
stop,
a photo.
Baby, slow
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Someone telling me I smell good was a first for me. Please let me finish.
Oh, that was a
Thank
first
you.
for
See,
you.
listen to what's being. Yeah. Okay.
That was a
so,
first for you.
yes, you smell good right in front of my wife. I'm like, wow, that's a first. Not trying to fuck me or sleep with me. No, that happens all the time. You know what I mean? Like no, not a first. And probably not that
he's
anytime
being
soon.
exact.
She laughs and she's okay with them saying, "Oh, trying to fuck you, but you smell good." That's where
We've been together
that's-
24 years.
No,
It
but that's the
happens
new
all the
part
time.
for you.
yeah.
But that was your snapping point.
But
You
honestly,
smell
I
good.
wanted
No,
him
that
to
was a
say.
weird point.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to say thank you.
So
though.
what'd you say?
He
what
said
did you
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
I wanted him to say.
Yeah.
I don't ever want him to like. No, say thank you. That's the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
he
because I got to
just-
bounce out. If I sit there and look like again, I'm just trying to bounce, be respectful at all times. I don't want to seem like I'm scared. Like, oh my God, if my wife should get home and gonna beat my ass, they're like, what's wrong with her and him? Like, because then it seems almost insecure.
Then
We
it
don't
seems
have
like
a-
I'm not.
we're not-
it. You know what I mean?
We don't have an insecure relationship. I just have a relationship that I want to be treated with respect.
right.
And she wants to be treated with respect.
Right.
And I get that. So it's like, that's why we both hold that value of respect so high
Yeah.
that she does it for me. I do it for her. You know what I mean? Like, you know, something that this was kind of weird at the beginning of our relationship, and some people might look at it psychotic, but we both do this both ways. This doesn't go. If we're out and my wife says something to somebody, oh yeah, this is, and I know that it's, yeah, by the way, the other day went out and there was 2 moons in the sky. I'm like, huh, okay. We'll wait till I get in the car and go, 2 moons? What the fuck was that? Oh, yeah, this person's nuts, and I wanted to say this. She'll explain herself then. I don't correct her in public.
Yeah.
I don't want to be corrected in public by my wife either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain way to go about things. Be like, you don't sit there. How bad does that look when you see a husband and wife sitting there, and the husband goes, I've seen it. I've had guys go, yeah, this happened the other day. No, it wasn't like that, Jurl. It was actually this way and this way. And you're like, the husband sits there and lowers his eyes. You're like,
Or when he goes, no, no, this happens. Won't say names,
And you
but
see it all the
when
time.
the girl, like the guy's like, oh yeah, I love to go skiing. No, you don't. You don't like to go skiing. It drives Frank. Oh my God, when we get in the car, he's like, if you ever do that to me, I'm like, I would never do that to you.
well, no, in fact, actually, you most of the time you start it. She'll get in the car and go, I could not imagine if I said that to you. What would you do if I
Because
said
I
it
know
to you?
what you
Then I'm
see
like, I don't
when
know.
they're when
Like,
wives or girlfriends do
I
that.
couldn't control. I don't know what I would do. I'd be in shock. It's like,
I love, it's nothing to do with that, but I love when someone goes, they'll literally be like, because I've done this to girls I've dated. They're like, I forgot this guy's name. Could you just, like, it's not about a relationship, but could you just introduce yourself?
Oh,
'Cause I forgot his
you
name.
we do that
to me
too.
all the time. Frank does that to me all the time.
But you know what I do? I go, hey, can I get your name? Because so-and-so forgot what it was.
Stop it. You,
And they fucking hate me.
you're such an.
Well, that doesn't work if you got to go home with them.
Yeah, that's
afterwards.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
That does start a
No.
fight.
Mine knows where I sleep at night, so you know.
No,
No,
Frank is very.
that happened to us one time. And it happened from my father, my father is from Cuba.
Yeah.
And this, he's a little bit more, is more serious of a human being. Most people are intimidated,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
He's so serious.
And so one time we're having a family of friends at my house get together, and we're all watching the basketball. Now, look, I don't watch basketball either full time. I don't really watch most sports full time.
Yeah.
If you ask me about this guy, like I'm kind of like pop culture highlights afterwards.
yeah.
You know, if something significant happens and it makes it on the news, then I'll pay attention. But I'm not a diehard, know the statistics. Hey, did you see so-and-so's no starting for it? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So that being said, neither did this family member that was with us. And so we're all sitting there, and I smoke cigars. My father, we're all, so everybody else now smoking cigars in my cigar room, and the game's on. And so my wife walks in with the girls, and so it was the wife of one of the people that was with us. She walks in very obnoxiously and first breaks the first code that she walks in the room with all the men without being invited in, which is weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And like when Frank's dad's there, it's like.
well, and vice
super-
versa. If I
old
walk
school
up to the
rules
room
come out.
and there's a bunch of my wife and her friends sitting in the room, I walk to the door. Vice versa. I stop at the door. Hey, is it okay if I come inside? I need something from you. I need to know where, because it's respectful. This is your guys' space.
Right.
I'm asking permission. Can I break space because I'm entering into the space of your guys' that you have established? And so to just walk in obnoxiously and she sat on the armchair on my couch, which that bothered me too. I'm like, I don't fucking sit properly, like.
Yeah.
And so then the person grabs the drink out of this guy's hand, and then starts swirling around drinking. She goes, basketball? You don't fucking watch basketball. You don't even like basketball. In
And she's
front of
like, "You
all
don't
of
even-"
us.
She said, "You don't even drink wine. Why are you drinking wine? You don't drink wine."
At
then-
your house.
And to him. And I'm like,
And he
so
was having such a good time.
my
Who
father and I,
cares?
my father, he made eye contact. He was like, please,
Frank's
Dad.
dad.
Oh.
Frank's
Oh, your
dad was
family
like,
say stuff?
well, Frank's dad is probably like, Frank's dad's all, who's trained this woman? He didn't train her properly. I'm just joking. Look at Frank's face. He's like, that's not a joke.
No.
Oh, your dad's like that?
He's so old school, Cuban. Like he's born in Cuba. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just a man that's just respectful.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you don't
My
walk
dad
into
would
a
say that.
room-
Oh, yes,
Here's an
especially-
example of when violence is actually appropriate. My father would have said that. He'd go, here's an example of when a woman needs to be backhanded. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't walk into-
She doesn't understand respect because there's no consequences for it.
Yeah.
Why? So there needs to be consequences for your actions because you're acting inappropriately. If you don't know how to act right, then you're like a child that doesn't know how to be told what to do. Then I'll spank you.
But it's extreme. But I mean, it is kind of that mindset though. It's like, it was so like, she just walks in to all the guys, grabs the drink, does that. You don't even drink wine. And what are you watching basketball for? You don't even watch
And think
basketball
what that guy cut his balls off, basically.
Yeah.
Just
in front of everybody.
for no reason.
And
the
what
fuck
I
guy
was
wasn't
gonna say,
doing nothing.
what's the purpose?
what is it? Yeah,
Like,
just
what is that?
well,
She's narcissistic. It made her feel good to put him down, shit on him in front of the women, in front of the men. You know what I mean? Like, it
it's
was,
horrible.
yeah, instead of treating your mate like an equal and a love partner and of two different warriors,
Yeah.
king and the queen, it was just like, you're my peasant and I can shit on you. Because trust me, if she would have directed that energy towards me and my father, well, at least to me, I would have, and my dad too, his mental judo, that's
would-
where I get, he
They
would
were-
have made her feel stupid.
Well, Frank is
Frank would
really
have jumped
good.
up and said, "Oh, was I in your way?"
Frank is really like people like he never would be violent, but the thing with Frank is that like he can tear you down with his words
Frank
and
doesn't
like
need to.
he doesn't need to be violent. He doesn't need to raise
I would
his
have
voice.
sat there and listened.
He would make her feel like if he could, if him and his
Yeah.
dad could have unleashed,
Yeah.
they're not. So the people don't think they're not unleashing violently. They would have annihilated her verbally. Like
Yeah.
I mean, just made her
Are you
feel
okay?
so small.
Are you all right? Because like we were okay in here. You walked in the room and you came off with a lot of harsh energy. It seems like you're in a bad place right now. Are you okay right now? Like, are you okay? I mean, is it your age?
That's the. It's like you just see.
Like, I mean, I didn't think the outfit looked that bad on you. I really didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I really think you're doing the best you can for your weight. You know what I mean? And your
For
age.
your weight. For your
Oh, and I would
weight.
just crush, and I'd know, like,
Yeah.
oh, you're sensitive about this. There's that
Yeah,
button.
yeah.
Sensitive about this button. You know, and make it seem like I'm your friend. Like, it's okay that you're getting old and you're not attractive. That haircut, it'll grow back. It will. You know.
It's so interesting because a couple of friends of mine, when I told them I'm doing the podcast with you, I said, the thing that I love about this is a lot of people don't realize Frank's what goes on in his mind. He's very analytical. He's very thought provoking. He's very, and I'm talking to Jennifer. Obviously, you're sitting in front of me as I'm saying this, but it's so weird. But they don't understand that other side, and I'm like, and I think that's why I connected with you because you looked at me, you're like, all right, this guy's kind of smart. Like he's not.
Yeah.
I felt like we're more than what other people would normally see us for, and I found it interesting. And what I like. That's why I wanted
the
you
thing about it,
because you know the good.
All jokes aside,
yeah,
I know
just like
exactly.
people sit there and go, oh, Frank Mir, the guy's a fighter.
Yeah.
If I said to go, oh, my friend Mike Hammer, oh,
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian, does
Yeah.
magic on show comedy. Like, oh, I'm like, no, the guy's fucking sharp, smart, combative. You understand a lot of things to a super deep level that description alone doesn't really
it would
suffice.
encompass you.
Not
Same
at
with
all.
you.
Same with me. Yeah, so that's where
Yeah.
the similarities come in and be like, yeah, that's a part of what I've done in life, but that's not
Yeah.
describes
That's why I
me.
feel like Cage and Bella and Ronan. Like I just, it's like the athletic ability. It isn't. People look right and they're like, oh, they're athletic just like their dad. They get that from their dad. But honestly, I think it's Frank's mind and how he was constantly coaching them and parenting them. That was the key to like just everything that they do. Like
Right, that's what I was telling your 4 girlfriends. It's all Frank. Everything's about Frank. I mean, you were good. You're all right.
Right.
oh my god, I
They slide you a knife real
No,
quick.
no, you don't-
You're gonna need a knife or a gun before you get
I
out of here
have
today.
done nothing. I don't know. I
You know
don't know.
what's
I
really
don't
funny?
know what I've done.
This was
Before
the
we leave, you're gonna say one nice thing that
this
I
was
do.
the
Mike.
this was the moment
Or
where
you
Frank's
get
like,
to fucking leave.
this is the moment where Frank's like, okay, Jennifer, do it.
Yeah, see, it is. It's gonna switch.
It-
Frank's gonna say,
So-
"I'm sorry, babe."
Honestly, I've given a lot of compliments.
I'm
And what's really
joking.
interesting is the part that people don't see. It really does take it. I think that's why it is strong for you guys as a household. It does take that yin and yang and that type of mentality with both parents to provide for their kids. There's actually surveys that look, some people you can't help it. There's a parent not in the family or someone passed or whatever, but families do succeed better, more percentage with.
It's the
both-
highest factor you can do for your child.
Yeah.
Anybody asks me at home right now, parental advice for the wife and I, what we've done, the single factor that you can basically gauge or judge or have any influence upon your child's success is staying married, staying in a group, the nucleus. A man and a wife, husband, wife, staying at home, raising their children has the single greatest factor on the success of your children. It's the one thing you can sit there and go, do they come from money? Do they come from, what neighborhood they grew up in? What ethnic background? All those are negligible compared to parents are married, nucleus, a husband and a wife. If you look at our jails, to everybody who suffers when children only grow up within a broken home, that is the one factor that inhibits them the most. So if you want to, the thing that we do the best in our family is a family together. And then on top of that, which, our kids will actually do better than we did at it, is that I feel like it takes layers. Jennifer and I did a good job of raising the children, but it was basically her and I here, Jennifer didn't have her family here with us. I took her away from Sacramento, took her in Vegas. So if we could have had layers to it, that's where the expression comes from. It takes a village. I really feel that like had she had all her sisters here too, that we would have done even better. And so like my children sit there go, okay, aunts and uncles and grandparents, that extended family then is the next level, I feel, to what did I do well? Well, we stayed together. What can my children do to succeed what we did? Well, we now have the extended family. Stay together. Let's stay as a group. As we grew up together, let's make this a village to help raise our children.
Yeah,
Let me ask you,
we do.
What do you think like Jennifer's biggest strength in the home is, as far as like the way you see her, and what and is it what you would expect like a wife to do or a mother to provide? In other words, how do you see her?
Well, Jennifer's very good at grinding. That's one of my weaknesses, that taking out the garbage, right? That routine task that's unglorified, that's not scary, doesn't make you nervous, that's easy to do but just a pain in the ass. Jennifer does all those tiny, mundane, just make sure the laundry's done. Like you think that's hard because there is no glory in it. There is no like, hey, go slay the dragon. Of course you want to slay the dragon. Everybody's you're gonna be immortalized. They're gonna sing songs about you. They're like, hey, make sure the back door was locked. That was your job. That's what you did. Yeah, but if I didn't do it, the whole village is going to burn down. You know what I mean? The castle comes to an end if I don't make sure that door's locked, right? But are you going to sing songs about me? No, not at all.
See, I love his analogy song.
No, I was just going to say, but that analogy, it's so simple, like, but like, and most people would take it, what? Because it feels so, like you said, such a small thing. But it's not when it's consistent.
Most people fail at it. People fail at it all the time. Think about how often people fail at the simple things that are within their ability to do so. It's within your ability to go ahead and, to do these average steps, pay your taxes, make sure the lights are turned. But can you do them day in and day out? Are you consistent with it? Because those things add up to be the foundation of victory. How many things are about eating properly? How many things are boring all the day that lead to people being successful that they don't do? And there's a lot of things people fail at that was well within their capabilities, but they didn't have the mental discipline to do the boring,
especially over and over
every day, day in and out with no glorification.
Well, and I remember like one of our first dates that we went on, you said, we're talking about his career and like, would I, be doing this? And I remember he said, you'll have the hardest job with the least amount of recognition. Obviously, then I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
But now I understand that.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Their offensive line, you get to hear about Emmitt Smith, right? At the time was a running back.
Yeah.
He was a good running back, out of Michigan, but his offensive line was one of the greatest offensive lines of ever.
Yeah.
Most people couldn't name all 5 linemen. You know what I mean? So they're gonna name 5 linemen.
Right.
But guess what? You took those guys away, they're not winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that shit by himself. You know what I mean? Like, but that being said, that was what I told her. I was like, you're gonna be basically an offensive lineman. No one's putting you on the highlight reel when I go into the end zone and score the touchdown.
I'll never get recognition.
You're not gonna get recognition.
We were this is so crazy. I just remember this right now. We were at the nail shop one time. This wasn't even like really all that long ago. And Frank, of course, you go to the nail shop and they're playing music. You're listening to it, but he's always thinking
a nail salon.
A nail salon. Nail shop.
I
Get my nails done. Nail salon.
No, that's right.
Girls say the nail shop. Nail salon.
I just picture Frank in more of a nail shop, don't you?
Yes, we were in a nail salon and they're playing music, you're listening, but he's always thinking everything he does. He's like, he's just breaking everything down. So the song Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler? Yeah. I've heard it a million times, watched the movie a million times. The song's playing and then all of a sudden he texts me the lyrics to it and he goes, this is my song to you. And in my mind, all I thought of was beaches and then when she died. So I was like, wait, what? So I'm like looking at my phone. I'm all, this is my song. But I like burst into tears because I never really listened to the song. But it's like, I don't have to pull it up, but you are the wind beneath my wings. Like I'll get all the glory.
Oh.
I'll get all the stuff. Like literally the words are like, I like broke down. And it was so true. I'm
You're
the
support
win.
system for
Thing, but
what he's
he'll
able
get
to-
all the glory, he'll get all the fame. They'll never know
Think
my
about it, though.
name.
Again, you see a bird fly. Think about even the representation of that. The wind beneath the wings, without that wind, without that pressure, those wings don't have anything to push down on to fly off, to extend. You can't even see it.
Right.
The wind doesn't even, you can't even see the wind.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that was like even the analogies there. It's like, well, look at the wind. It's, it's invisible, right? It's unseen.
Mm-hmm.
You just see the bird flying, but you don't acknowledge that the wind that it's flying upon, the pressure that it's building, that it's the wind
Mm-hmm.
beneath its wings.
I literally just had
That's so
this.
sentimental.
It was so great. I had this. I just had a talk.
I never
with-
knew what it was about either. I never thought about it.
I never
I'm
did
going through
either.
the words now. I'm
Wait,
like,
now when we leave, I want you to pull the words up and look at it. It's so. First of all, it's like spot on,
but it's so
like
funny
so
that
heartfelt.
Frank would send that.
He's so
I'm a sensitive
he's
dude.
so
You're so
sensitive.
sensitive, Frank.
He's so sensitive. Yeah, he's so sensitive.
On that note, which I think was a real sweet, sensitive note, we get out of here. So
We started with fighting and we ended with crying.
yeah, we got a Bette Midler song in there. That just shows the gambit we can run. So
We can go
anyways,
from Bella winning NCAA championships.
to the wind
Really
beneath my
fast
wings.
before we go, though, please, I just want to say to everybody out there, because everybody's calling me, they're like, Frank was freaking out so crazy after Bella. They're like, we've never even seen Frank that excited. Like, that's the first time we've ever seen Frank like that. So it was pretty awesome.
I saw the video.
It was
that Mom
crazy,
showed me
right?
on
Were
his
you
phone.
shocked at that too?
I was a little bit, but I wouldn't. I figured it'd be in his wheelhouse because he was probably more proud of that than some of his own
No,
accomplishments.
that was the point, is that everyone said he wasn't even like that in his own fights. That's the point. When it's your kids, it's just, it's on another level.
It's good to see her out there. Succeed.
amazing.
And against who she succeeded against, too.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Great experience. So on that note, the next time, we'll see you around. Mind of Mir.